You ready? You're listening to the Real Pineapple Podcast Network. So I didn't get a chance to review everything that I wanted to review this scary season, but you know what? We are finishing at 31 Halloween reviews. By the time you listen to this, all the reviews for the Scream series will be live. So you know what? I'm gonna take a little moment to give myself a little props, do a little victory lap. Hell yeah, you guys got 31 Halloween reviews for the season. I'm very proud of myself. This will not be happening around the Christmas season because god damn it, this was hard. But you know what? Hell yeah. Very proud of myself. Very happy you guys will have plenty of Halloween content to go ahead and listen to. Already starting to lay out stuff for next year because a lot of stuff that I didn't get to this year is going to fall for next real scary series. But the final review for the series for this year is going to be Scream 6, which is but this film is directed by Matthew Bettinelli Olpin. That's a classy ass name. Oh my god. And Tyler Gillette. Matt Bettinelli Olpin. You know him from directing the last Scream, Scream 5. He also directed Ready or Not, which I haven't seen Ready or Not yet, and all my horror friends are just told me, dude, you have to watch that. So I will get to it. That'll be next year. I will review Ready or Not for next year. But he directed Ready or Not, and he's directed the VHS series. He wrote the original VHS in 2012. Was an executive producer on VHS 94 in 2021, and has produced VHS 99 and VHS 85. And then Tyler Gillette, you know from directing the aforementioned Ready or Not, and also an executive producer on the VHS films, and then directed the last Scream film. So, yeah, let's just jump in here. So this movie picks up basically right after the events. This is kind of the quantum of solace of the Scream franchise, and I mean that in the sense of that it picks up pretty much immediately after Scream 5. It is much better in quality, do not worry, but this might be... So I think about it. I mentioned, I think, for my Scream 2 review, that the opening of that one might be my favorite opening. I think it probably goes maybe 2-5-1. I might have to rethink that after this one, because this opening in particular really goes against multiple things that we know about the Scream franchise. It takes a long time for us to actually even go ahead and get to the title screen, which is something I really appreciate. I actually appreciate the fact that this movie builds up the tension in the opening. Not saying that the others don't, but just because you know it's coming, and it does a very good job of kind of giving you the breadcrumbs and kind of making you think, oh, here comes the title screen. Oh, shit, no, not the title screen. Like, it does a very good job of playing with your expectations, and that's something I really dig about this movie. Also, these might be the most brutal deaths overall in the series, which is really crazy when you think about it, getting to your sixth film. But there's a coldness to the kills in this one that I found rather inspired, to be honest. So the film opens up with Samara Weaving. It's so funny. I kept thinking it was Margot Robbie. Like, obviously people have made the Margot Robbie joke. It's insane how much they look alike. But Samara Weaving, she plays Laura Crane, and she's on a blind date, and the date is running late. We, of course, know that the date who's running late is the aforementioned Ghostface. And so what I really like about this opener in particular is that he prods at her. Ghostface is just prod at her just a little bit, like, oh hey, I'm running late. I went down this street, but I don't see you, and like, oh, can you come out and meet me? Like, he does a really good job of just fucking with her, and the way that they just go ahead and erode um, her, the walls that she has up into getting killed. It's fucking brutal. And through their interaction on the phone, we find out that Lauren is a college professor. Ironically enough, who teaches film. And this Ghostface, I really like that Ghostface has just become more of an asshole as the franchise has gone on. Uh, Kind of almost being like the anti Peter Parker, where Ghostface is having these very quippy lines before they kill someone, which honestly, if I was Ghostface, that's exactly how I'd be. I'd say something stupid like, uh, I don't know, uh, yeah, I can't think of anything. It's been a long day, but oh, see, God, maybe I'd be a bad Ghostface. Shit. But the last thing that Lauren hears Ghostface say is, "You're a college professor who teaches film, and you still went down this hallway alone." And you go, A, not wrong, but B, what a dickhead thing to say right before you kill someone. And then they even make the remark, "Now I see something red," and you just go, God damn. There's this shot at the 612 mark of blood splattering onto Ghostface mask, which is such an iconic shot, and one of my favorite shots in the series, period, that I went, wow, that is fucking horrifying, but also, God, that's so badass. And the actual visual of the blood on her yellow dress is just fucking, it's fucking cool. It's really fucking cool. So at this point, we're over 10 minutes in, and we actually don't even get the title screen to about 13 minutes in, which is something I went, oh, that's nice. That's a nice change up this late in the franchise, and I really appreciated that. It was something that totally caught me off guard, but I went, oh yeah, gold star. All right, I appreciate this. But we are reunited with our survivors from Scream 5, which includes Melissa Barrera as Sam Carpenter, Jenna Ortega, of course, as her sister Tara Carpenter, Gail Weathers, once again played by Courtney Cox, and then Mason Gooding, of course, returning as Chad, and then Hayden Panettiere, hey Hayden, once again returning as Kirby Reed. So what I really dug about this, or actually, before I get into that, let me address. Oh, and pardon me, freaking forgetting about Jasmine Savoy Brown, who's played by who plays Mindy Meeks Martin. So, okay, let's get this out of the way. There is no Nev Campbell. There is no Sydney in this movie, and yeah, come on, y'all. Really? You could Paramount, you couldn't pay fucking, with all that money you made from that Plane movie that's overrated as hell, you couldn't find a reason to go ahead and bring back Nev Campbell, the Scream Queen? Like I know a lot of people go Jamie Lee Curtis, and I get it. But Nev Campbell is Scream. Sidney Prescott is this franchise. And one of the things that Scream 5 did so fucking well is having the new characters blend in with the legacy characters. It worked so fucking well. And now it does feel like you can actually have a trajectory now where, these films can move away from Sydney. I totally get that. But you can have Sydney as a cameo, even if it's a phone call, even if she Skypes with Sam and Tara. Nev Campbell deserves that at this point. And the fact that they went to undercut her pay is fucking ridiculous. And it's the reason why we had a fucking strike still going on. So I'm happy that Nev Campbell knows her worth. I'm happy that she didn't take what I'm sure was a lowball deal like a motherfucker. And hopefully she can come back and Scream 7 because she deserves it and she's fucking amazing. They don't really address it, actually. I think Gail has like a one-off line about Sydney just off doing shit. But that's really it. It's not addressed, which I was admittedly a little peeved by, because it just kind of feels like they went, okay, don't look at the don't look behind this curtain. So I was agitated about that. I won't lie, but there is no Sydney in this, and obviously I just love seeing Nev Campbell, but this is her franchise, and so it feels a little weird for her to not be around, and yet credit where it's due, to James Vanderbilt and Guy Busick, the writers. They found a way to make this work without her. So James Vanderbilt, I will. He's got some of these people have the most fascinating, the most fascinating filmographies as far as how some of them hit and some of them don't. So James Vanderbilt, he was a screenwriter on The Rundown, which of course is the movie that launched Dwayne Johnson to superstardom. Zodiac, which is a fucking amazing movie. The Losers, which is I think an underrated flick. It's not great, but it's fun. The Amazing Spider-Man, White House Down. Yes, I love White House Down. Truth. That's the Robert Redford movie, if memory serves. And Kate Blanchett, I believe. Yeah, it is that one. Good flick, really good flick actually. Produced he wrote Independence Day Resurgence. Oh fuck me. But he was a producer on The House with a Clock in Its Walls. Really great flick. Especially if you have kids, check out The House with a Clock in Its Walls. That's a fun fucking movie. But then he wrote Murder Mystery, the Adam Sandler Jennifer Aniston movie. He was a producer on Ambulance, which is a great fucking movie. And then he wrote Murder Mystery 2, which, ugh. So, they can't all be winners. And then the other writer, I think that was Guy Busick. He went ahead and wrote Ready or Not, Scream 5, and then Scream 6. So he's off to a great fucking start. Keep that up. Stay away from murder mystery shit. At least that murder mystery shit. But credit to them for figuring out a way to still make this an enjoyable fucking flick without having Sydney involved. As I mentioned earlier, the kills in this feel upgraded. They feel very cold. They feel very callous. And then also, in the same way that I kind of bitch about this with Marvel, it's really nice to just not be in Woodsboro. It's nice for them to actually expand out. So they do what a lot of franchises go. They go to New York. And admittedly, when I heard they were going to New York, I definitely kind of got Smurfs feelings where I just went, oh God, are you going to New York because you just can't think of anywhere else to fucking go? And no, there's actually the almost sardine can nature in which New York exists, as far as how some of the houses and some of the properties are laid out, actually enhances the trauma and the tension for a lot of these Ghostface killings and a lot of these Ghostface scenes, which is something I really wasn't expecting. But again, credit to the writers and the directors for being able to find a way to make this feel claustrophobic in a way, as far as how the tension goes ahead and plays out. It very much feels like, not, and I'm not saying it just because it's set in New York, it definitely feels like this was inspired, as far as New York kind of being a character based on the taking of Pelham 123. I think they do a really great job of making New York feel like its own character, especially as you're moving throughout different locales in New York. So one thing that this movie does do that I really appreciate that it does is that we have Sam, Melissa Barrera's character. We of course know that her dad is Billy Loomis, who was the one of the original Ghostfaces. And what I really appreciate about that is that she's going to counseling. Her and Tara, Jenna Ortega, they talk about at the end of Scream 5 how they both need counseling, and how when they're talking to Sydney, they ask her, "Are we going to be okay?" And she goes, "Eventually." And I really appreciate the aspect on mental health that, I mean, I know some people go, it's insane that a serial killer would, stalk you and all this stuff. But it's a good message to the fact that they're not just moving on from this. Like, there is actual PTSD and there is actual trauma that these characters are trying to work through, and I really like that, especially in a movie that, or in a franchise that at points has said some things that haven't aged well. I really look looking at you, Scream 3. I really do appreciate the fact that that's a continuing thread from Scream 5, and that just wasn't dropped entirely. So that is one thing I will say that while I rarely am like, oh, they deserve to die. Henry Czerny, I believe is how you say it, who plays Dr. Christopher Stone, he is Sam's counselor in this movie, and the movie does a good job of making you go, okay, Sam, Sam is one of our heroines. She should be okay. Like, she shouldn't succumb to the dark side. But between Scream 5 and Scream 6 here, they do just enough to keep that in the back of your mind. To just keep that you are aware that she could potentially snap at any moment. And if she ends up becoming a ghost face, for Scream 8, let's just say, it wouldn't be, it's the family business. It wouldn't go ahead and be a huge surprise, would it? And that's the perspective that Dr. Stone is coming at this from. So I do want to get into a couple other things real quick here, because I could honestly probably talk about this for an hour. But the scene that's teased in the trailers for this movie, where the Core Four, I love that. I love the fact they kept that nickname. But the Core Four is on a subway, and the lights keep going out. That scene is so tension filled. It's fucking perfect. The way that scene plays out, I went, this is how you do horror. This is how you ramp the tension up just a little bit. And I was, again, I'm watching these movies for the first time during this watch through, and I was just laughing. I was laughing because I was so nervous, and I was really emotionally invested in each character and really not wanting anyone to die, even though of course, it's a fucking Scream movie, so death is guaranteed. So there is a girl in here, Quinn, who's played by Liana Liberato, sup girl. The moment I saw her, I went, oh, I shouldn't like you. Like, it's for those of you who watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine, you remember how Rosa always talks about how if she's attracted to someone, that there's probably something wrong with them. The moment I saw Quinn, I was like, oh god, yeah, there's something wrong with you. You can probably guess what's wrong with her. But the way to go ahead and tie in what's going on with Quinn, I really appreciated that. And the whole Ghostface reveal in general, I thought was horribly well done. This actually ties back to what was apparently going to be a thing in Scream 3, where there's going to be almost like a council of Ghostface, but because of Columbine, they went ahead and, of course, made a bunch of pivots and changes. But the whole concept that there is a group of people inspired by Ghostface isn't a stretch at all. When you think about how we romanticize and unfortunately give credence to these serial killers, hell, Jeffrey Dahmer just had a very successful, miniseries about him that Ryan Murphy show ran, and got award nominations. I mean, unfortunately, it's a thing that's really baked into our culture, and the way that this movie plays with that and offers criticism and critique on that, I really enjoyed that. I think they've kind of they were kind of getting in that direction when it comes to stuff like Scream, like this past trilogy, really since Scream 4, that's really been an ongoing conversation and an ongoing criticism that these films have brought up, that I think they've done a good job of talking about how, in this age of TikTok and Facebook and, Twitter, I'm not calling it X, Elon, you asshole, but in this era of 15-second clips and everything that we live in, that so many people are searching for that notoriety. So many people are searching for that 15 minutes of fame, no matter how they can get it. And so these films being so aware of that is something that really makes me continue to like this franchise and continues to find a way to really evolve with the times, which is something that you cannot say for a lot of horror franchises. So gonna go through a couple more things here. I mentioned Mindy, who's played by again by Jasmine Savoy Brown. Love her. She she has this incredibly meta line where they're talking about Ghostface, and she goes, I think of it as being struck by lightning. The chances of it happening again are very low. And I was just sitting there going, oh no, don't 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 think like that, dear. That's not, no, don't think about it like that. Also, there's a straight up scene with this one guy talking to Tara, and Tara's wanting to get a little drunk, and obviously Jenna Ortega is a very gorgeous human being, but the way, and maybe it's because I've been to enough parties to know this person, uh, but the guy who goes, "Oh, you want to get more drunk or drunker, whatever. It's late. Shut up." But hey, you want to have another drink? I have a bottle of insert booze here in my room, and I appreciate the fact that Sam is like, don't go with him. Actually, no, it's Chad. Pardon me. It's Mason Gooden's Chad who goes, yeah, she's not going anywhere with you. And instead of being cool about it and being like, okay, I'll go get the booze and we can drink down here, he goes right into bro mode. Like, that switch just flips. I'm like, dude, calm the fuck down. Which, again, some commentary that's actually really good to see in a fucking horror film. And I appreciate that Chad knew that Tara was not going to end up in a good situation and went ahead and stepped up. I really appreciate that scene is in here. We need to see more situations like that where it's called out. Getting to a couple more things before I wrap up here. There is a death involving a ladder that I think might be my favorite death in the whole franchise. It's very similar to Drew Barrymore's death to open up the original Scream, where the film does such a great job of making you think, okay, maybe this character's gonna get away. Maybe they got this. And the brutality of which the kill occurs, I just went, God damn it. Like, I was so mad, but I was excited because I was so mad. You know what I mean? Because it meant that I was truly invested, and I dug it so much. They tease it in the trailer, or in one of the trailers, where Ghostface has a shotgun, and that convenience store scene in particular, Ghostface shoots someone point blank range in the face, which, again, I appreciate the fact that a guy goes, oh, there's a fucking killer in my convenience store, goes right to the shotgun. There's no, come out with your hands up. He's like, no, fuck you and fuck that. I'm going to try to shoot you right now. I love that. I appreciate that so much, that you're not treating people who inhabit this area as morons. Plus, if there is a place where they would shoot first and ask questions later, that's not Minnesota. It would be New York. And the girl's trying to get away from Ghostface while not stepping on anything in the store that's going to go ahead and cause noise and give away their position. It's like a mini stealth mission inside of a Scream film, and it works so fucking well. I mentioned her in the last review for Scream 5, but it bears repeating. I love Hayden Panettiere. Not just because she's gorgeous, but she has a level of charisma that she brings to her character Kirby. I was so excited to see her back, and I really hope that she continues to be a thing moving forward in these movies. I get excited whenever she shows up again. I haven't even mentioned Dermot Mulroney yet. I'm just such a fan of his in general from Zodiac, because he's fucking awesome in Zodiac. But you also know him from Agent Game, The Blazing World, I Still See You, Sergeant Will Gardner. Like he's been a ton of shit. Oh my god, The Gray. Oh my god, I need to rewatch The Gray. The Gray is fucking awesome. If you've not seen The Gray, you need to watch The Gray. But he's in here as a Detective Bailey, and you, again, the way he factors into things, the way that the whole Ghostface reveal is done here, outside of two and I really do love the reveal in five. I, you know, really, all the Ghostface reveals for me are great. Outside of three, three just sucks and it angers me. You can argue obviously about which one is your favorite, but I love this Ghostface reveal, and I know some people went, it's far fetched. I don't see what's far fetched about it, and I don't honestly know why people complain about it. I had so much fun with this movie. I had fun I had fun watching these for the first time. I get why horror fans are so obsessed with these movies, and between stuff like this and Ready or Not and The Invisible Man and Talk to Me and The Blackening and things like that, I'm happy for my listeners who tend to lean more towards horror. I'm just happy for y'all because I love to see fandoms eat well. I love to see fandoms feel represented and get to see their shit their way. And the Scream movies have just been a joy, honestly, to watch and to review and to be inspired by and scream at. And I've loved reviewing these. I'm really happy that I was able to go through and review all these with y'all and go on this journey with y'all because it has been a journey, but it's been fun. I don't own the last three movies. I own the original trilogy. I am gonna have to change that. I'm just gonna have to buy all six at this the other three at this point. That'll probably be a Black Friday purchase. So just buy the most recent three. But as far as a grade, because I gave Scream 5 an A because I really do adore Scream 5. I don't know if I like this more than 5. I don't think I do, even though I like things more about it. So I'm gonna go an A on this one. But goddamn, like if you were to tell me this is like your second favorite, I will just say if you say any of the Scream movies are your favorite more than 2, I will definitely be like, okay, let's talk about this because I think 2 is a perfect. I've talked about Scream 2. I think Scream 2 is about as perfect as you can get for what one of these movies is. But I love this movie. So if you were to tell me Scream 6 is your favorite, I wouldn't be mad at you. I'd go, okay, let's talk about this because I kind of want to debate, but fun debate. But I have so much fun with this movie, and yeah, these are gonna be staples moving forward through whenever Halloween comes up. I'm gonna definitely be rewatching these. I'll probably throw these on just when I get bored. I have that much fun with these, but yeah, Scream 6, solid A. But everyone, I'm gonna ask y'all, what is your favorite Scream movie? How would you rank the Scream movies? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, I'm really curious to see what people will say. But yeah, you can follow me on Blue Sky at realpineapple.bsky.social. You got a question for the show? I have a review request? Shoot me an email. Let me know. You can shoot me an email at jhunter@therealpineapple.com. That's REEL Pineapple. You can follow me on TikTok at jhunterrealpineapple. You can follow me on Letterboxd at Black Shazam. Pardon me. Please go ahead and subscribe to the podcast. You can find us on SoundCloud, Apple, Google Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, TuneUp, and Samsung Podcasts, to name a few, at The Real Pineapple. Go ahead and subscribe to us on YouTube. You can find us on, just search The Real Pineapple. You'll go ahead and find us on there. And you can find us on Twitch at twitch.tv/jhunterrealpineapple. I think I'm going to finally hop on Twitch this week. I would be streaming tonight. By the time you hear this, it'll be Halloween. But I won't lie, I'm a little paranoid about my neighbors knocking on the door and ringing the doorbell. So I'm gonna be making sure the cats are okay. So, but I will be hopping on here probably this weekend. I will keep y'all updated on that. But everyone, thank you so much for going through this 31 days of Halloween reviews with me. Thank you so much for listening to the Real Scary series for this year. Stay safe out there. Happy Halloween. Stay safe. Be safe. Get your COVID shot. Get your booster. Get your flu shot if you haven't yet. Have fun tomorrow or today by the time you listen to this. But have fun today. Be safe. Again, get all the candy. And don't forget, as always, to keep it real.